Why Zelensky must be panicking after the US captured Maduro? What's up, guys? Today, we're diving into something huge. Why the US capture of Nicolás Maduro could have serious implications for Ukraine, and why Zelensky might actually be sweating right now. And we're reacting to something even crazier: statements allegedly made by Volodymyr Zhirinovsky years ago, predicting a scenario like this. If this plays out the way some people predicted, this could change the game. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want geopolitics explained in a way that actually makes sense. Let's break it down. On the 3rd of January 2026, the United States launched a military raid in Venezuela that ended with Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro being captured and flown to the US to face charges in an operation described as both military strike and law enforcement. Trump even said the US will temporarily run Venezuela while a new regime transition takes place. This is unprecedented in decades. The US hasn't done something like this in Latin America since Panama in 1989. Here's what Zhirinovsky, yes, the late Russian ultranationalist politician, reportedly said years ago in a resurfaced clip that the US would one day take decisive military action in places like Venezuela. And here we are. Whether you believe Zhirinovsky was a prophet or just spouting rhetoric, what's fascinating is that this is now real geopolitical theater. And what happened in Venezuela looks a lot like a blueprint for external pressure against adversarial regimes, which leads to Zelensky. So why should Zelensky be worried? 1. A precedent for U.S. military intervention on foreign soil. A U.S. raid outside a declared war zone, especially to seize a foreign leader, sets a political and strategic precedent. If the U.S. can do this in Latin America with Maduro, what's to stop similar action elsewhere, even in Europe? 2. Trump justified the Venezuela move as part of national security and resource control, specifically oil. If the U.S. shifts toward military leverage as a tool of foreign policy rather than diplomacy for certain threats, that changes the risk calculations for any country at odds with Washington. 3. If it worked here, it might be tried elsewhere. World leaders keep a close eye on how powerful states act. Ukrainian President Zelensky did publicly note after Maduro's capture that if this can happen to Maduro, then the US knows what to do next. A thinly veiled reference to Putin and Russia. 4. Russia's position is weaker now. Maduro was historically aligned with Russia. His removal disrupts alliances that Russia used to project influence. That potentially emboldens U.S. policy against Russian interests and raises stakes for Ukraine's conflict with Russia. Now, not everyone supports what the U.S. did. Critics say it violated international law, could destabilize the region, and might fuel anti-U.S. sentiment. But the fact remains, the world just saw a bold U.S. power play that has real geopolitical implications. And for leaders like Zelensky, whose conflict with Putin and Russia hangs in the balance, this matters. So, is this the start of a new era of U.S. geopolitics? Was Zhirinovsky right all along? And most importantly, what comes next? Might Putin capture Zelensky in order to exchange him with Maduro? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.